Okay, so we're here with Brian Timpone, founder of BlockShopper.com, a cool startup in Chicago. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about what BlockShopper is and what you guys are doing?
BlockShopper is a real estate news and information service. It's a media play, content play, and we're local, so we're in I think 12 markets now. We collect local real estate data from the from counties, and then we layer on different news and analytics, make it kind of a local, interesting, real estate focused experience. And our users are just people who are local but interested in real estate. Maybe they're buying or selling, or they're homeowners who are interested in kind of understanding the value of their home. But our content includes data at like a resource level for someone who's looking for specific answers to sales in their neighborhood or foreclosures. Also, it includes news, which is kind of the more controversial part of it. We write stories about people who buy and sell homes.
And where are you guys located? Where are you guys up and running at? In Vegas, Chicago?
We're Chicago, Vegas, St. Louis, South Florida, New York City, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Seattle. I think that's it for now. But we're expanding. Right now in Chicago, we're in Cook and Lake County. We're expanding to DuPage, which is out in the western suburbs, pretty soon. And then we're going to expand in California. We're in LA, too.
And what's your audience like?
All in, we're doing about 750,000 uniques a month across the network. Every market's different. Our two biggest are Florida does about 220, Chicago does about 170, and LA does about 150. And but we're growing in every market we're in, and relative to like our competition, the local newspaper sites, we've far surpassed them in every market that we're in. That's kind of what we're after is real estate oriented traffic. People who are in that business are looking to reach an audience of active buyers and sellers.
And you said the news part is controversial. Why?
I don't know. Controversial is not necessarily pejorative, right? The news part is it's interesting because it's about people, and people are not used to necessarily reading about themselves as news. We believe that every home transaction is locally newsworthy. A home is most people's top investment. And so when homes transact, just like when businesses buy businesses or there are deals in the business world, a home transaction is of great bottom line interest to another homeowner in the neighborhood. So when homes go on the market or when they are sold, who the buyers and sellers are, we write a story about that deal. And the way we do it is we go online and find information that people have put out about themselves, basically from corporate bios for the most part, is where we find most of our information. So it's controversial in that most people who've grown up in major metro areas and suburbs aren't used to hyper-local news in that sense. But the stuff isn't mean-spirited at all. It's very matter of fact. And so they have nothing to fear.
Cool.
Right, so on the front page we've got the news stories. So we've got a story about a realtor's listing their home, plumbing contractor listed their home, a urologist sold a Creve Coeur 3-bedroom. So here's the story about the buyer and seller.
And this is Chicago?
This is actually St. Louis.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So this is a map where the home is according to Google, and then of course if you we'll click on Foxbrook Estates, which is the neighborhood, and then you can read more about Foxbrook Estates, the latest sales, the highest value sales, and you can browse by street within it. And here's so this is obviously a pretty small neighborhood, but you can see here a list of every homeowner and recent sales in that area. And then if you go to the property level, so that you can see that where this home is in Creve Coeur East. It's in Creve Coeur, Missouri, the zip code, and then the sales history about the property, the census tract that it's in, and these are the demographics from the U.S. Census. That it's the median income and the racial demographics, property taxes, school information, and everything else. And then we've got the neighbors here. Another thing we do that's kind of interesting is we rank taxpayers in an area. There's a way to call this up. So in this case, you saw the taxes that this person pays $3,800. So this is every town in St. Louis. These are the top taxpayers in St. Louis County, the top 100. So this number one, Dennis Jones, pays $106,000 a year in property taxes.
Have you ever heard from any of those people who are getting ranked or no?
No, we haven't heard from them, but I think that we call it the thank you list. I think a lot of times people aren't cognizant of who pays the most taxes and who pays for our schools and local services. Sure. If you look through this list, there are some dignitaries. Sam Fox was an ambassador somewhere in the Bush administration. Mark Bulger, quarterback for the Rams, is a prominent realtor. I'm just off the top of my head here scrolling through these. The Bush family. But these people, this is area wide. If we were to go in and look at one city, Bell Ridge, which is very small, you can see again who the top payers are. It's important to know what people pay in taxes, what everyone pays in taxes, so that you can see that what you're paying is fair.
Sure. Right?
And without the information, without having all the information in front of you, you would never know. So people will look at, Kenneth Jackson, and that he pays $2,100, and his neighbors can actually compare and see. I don't know. There's one. She pays $1,200. Only she knows what's comparable. So when people go, what people use this data for, the tax data specifically, is that when they go and they'll contest their taxes, as they have a right to do and should, they can use our data to compare apples to apples and as fodder. And we have lots of stories of people who've actually used it to lower their taxes. So we kind of treat real estate like sports, in a sense. You can compare batting averages. If I were to say to you that Carlos Quentin is hitting 200, in its face you wouldn't know what that means. But if you can see it in context of what everyone else is hitting, then you know if it's good or bad, right? And that's the same thing with taxes. It's the same thing with sales. It's the same thing with foreclosure rates. Other things we create.
And in terms of the content on the site, what drives most of the audience? Is it the data, or is it the news that suck people in and then they get...
It's the data, and the news just creates immediacy around the data, which is all news organizations do. News organizations create immediacy around the happenings of the day. That's their job. We take real estate data and we make it into news as a way to get people coming back to the site. But for the most part, people find us because they're searching on neighborhoods or subdivisions or streets or addresses because they're looking for specific information. I would say that the internet is one big question machine, and if you have a website, your job is to provide answers. And if you provide answers, thanks to the beauty of Google and Yahoo, people can find you. And if they find you and you can provide them an answer, they'll come back. That's what we found. In St. Louis, which is our oldest market, we have about 75,000 unique visitors a month, which is more, it's about 5 times as much as the St. Louis Post-Dispatch real estate site, according to the numbers I've seen. So, but the people are there. It's a good audience to reach if you're targeting people who are looking for homes. So,
cool. They can all find it at blockshopper.com.
Blockshopper.com. That's right.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks.